my name is Felix Bacon. Do you want to Rabbi from another planet? Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I have been watching Daleks, exclamation point, which thankfully is finished. I think it has. They had just had episode 5. Daleks is a 5-part, horribly animated a story. I would say Dalek story. Yeah, Dalek story, tying into the broader Time Lord Victorious overarching failure. I'm trying to think the right word for it. Failure, I think, is the best word. The best word for it. So this is a review of the final part and also the entirety of it. If you haven't seen any of it, don't. It's freaking awful. I can't believe how bad it is. I really am genuinely shocked. I can't call it amateurish, because amateur things are so superior. You know, there's a thing called Dalek Tales from 2013, 2012, a while ago, which is a computer animated Dalek thing, vastly superior. Like, I'm just vastly superior on a technical level. Not even talking the writing. They're just pretty much every part of the production. Utterly fails breathtakingly, and it has done each week. I would love to know how it's done. I'd love to know the metrics of that. I can't imagine it's been very good, right? I'll be surprised if it's for... who knows? I don't know. Anyway, before we get into it, can I ask you guys, can you hit the like button? That'd be great. Can you hit that share button? That is very good. And the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. My subscribe... YouTube noticed my subscribers went up. So they said, oh, none of that for you. They took a few off again. So you can hit the subscribe. And if you're subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed. I've got to remember to keep saying that, because honestly, it just seems so bizarre to me that my teeny tiny channel warrants YouTube censorship. Really? Like, anything I have to say matters that much? So I got to be part of like some weird clandestine conspiracy for the silence. I'm talking crap about Doctor Who mainly, and Star Wars, and that sort of stuff. Anyway, so if you hit the subscribe button, make sure you're still subscribed. If you subscribe, you can enter my competitions. The prize I was supposed to give away last night, I'm going to give away tomorrow when on my live stream. Ghostbusters on Blu-ray. Freaking love this movie. Festive fun for all the family. All you need to do to win it, subscribe to the channel. Enter the comments, leave the hashtag. Who you gonna call? Who you gonna call? Also, if I can ask you, go check the video notes and check out my Indiegogo email sign up. You can add your email address for that. Fandabby Double Dozy. Thank you very much. I am pathetically grateful. You get one of these 4 cards here. With any purchase. I've got these 2 graphic novels that I will be selling when I launch the campaign. Very tasteful cards. If you get the both graphic novels, you get all 4 cards anyway. I'll give you a 5th chaser card. We're going to start working on that when I launch the campaign. When will I launch the campaign? Don't really know. Soonish, I guess. I really would like to do it in December. They tell me not January, but I don't know. Let's wait. Who knows or dares to dream of what tomorrow may bring. What tomorrow may bring, though, I can almost guarantee is me not watching Daleks! Exclamation point. So, okay, I'll get you up to speed. There's this thing called Doctor Who. Quite like it. I've always quite liked it. And then they cast a new lady as Doctor Who, and they said, it doesn't matter that she's a lady. Don't focus on she's a lady. And then they went on to say, in everything that came out about it, the new Time Lord played by a lady. I mean, they kept talking about it over and over again. So they seem pretty, intent. So I was kind of on board. I was like intrigued to see what this new lady Doctor Who would be like. They did it with the Master, another good character in Doctor Who, which I felt it worked. So I was on board, watched it, and it was garbage. It was unbelievable garbage. Now, that's just one man's opinion for you. Yeah, that's fair enough, one man's opinion. But it seems to be one man's opinion that a lot of other people tend to agree with. The ratings fell off a cliff, fell off a roof. It went onto a nosedive. And a continuing nosedive. None of that matters, though. None of that matters. They're still making more of it. We don't care how badly it does or how embarrassing it is. We're going to make more of it, said the BBC. And I think this is probably why they have they've been losing like $50 million pounds a year, where people say, I don't really need to pay for this. I'm not really watching it that much. I can live without. So, but they had a knock-on effect that people not liking Doctor Who as much meant they weren't buying as many things that had Doctor Who written on it, right? They were, anything with the current era Doctor Who written on it, because they sit part of the branding guidelines when the new lady Doctor Who became Doctor Who, was that everything had to have the new lady Doctor Who logo on it. That was Doctor Who. Previously, the brand was divided into two. You had the classic, you had the modern. No more, everything's out. But people really disliked it. Much like me, so much they wouldn't buy anything even with that logo on. So then, this isn't going so well. This isn't going so well. We like it when people buy stuff from us, so we think we got to look at a spreadsheet and see what people do buy and what they don't buy. They did that, and that's how they came up with, I believe, Time Lord Victorious, a greatest hits of everything that has sold well in the Doctor Who world universe in the last 10, 15 years, right? So essentially, we have a multi-Doctor story, always popular. We have David Tennant front and center, always popular. They have the interesting idea of making Time Lord Victorious. It didn't really work. I mean, it's basically, I haven't really seen him be Time Lord Victorious as yet. Everything is kind of a prequel to him showing up as Time Lord Victorious. I believe this story ends this month. Thank God. It's more like, how can I describe Time Lord Victorious's ending? It's like, and you'll understand this if you're in your 50s or 60s, it's like an erection. It's like an erection when you get that age. You don't so much explode in in an orgasm of excitement. More, you just gently massage it into submission. So that's kind of, and if you're a younger chap, that's what you got to look forward to in life. Okay, so that's kind of how Time Lord Victorious is ending up. So they noticed that it wasn't really going so well. Other people were very excited when it started because they came out with, they had this really good posters by a guy called Lee Binding. Really knew what it was doing. They looked really exciting, and then it started. That was really the only good thing that came out from it. Then people started reading the comic books and the movie, and not the movie, the comic books and the books, and they listened to the audios, and they went, it's not very good. It's no. And also, it was rolled out very badly. It had it looked like it had quite a cool central story by James Goss. Up until now, a very, very reliable writer. And this story, again, an interesting idea, but it basically all the tributaries to that story, all this, it have just been too cauterized from each other because there is a BBC edict that you can't have anything need to have to go and buy something else to experience it, right? So they've separated all the bits out a little bit too much. And there was no free content to bring people in. There was just that poster, just that one poster. And so really, it's fallen flat on its face for many. It's been put together badly. It has interesting ideas, and James Goss, I said, is a fine writer. You wouldn't know on the strength of this. So they did this show called Daleks, a bit of free content, hopefully to bring people into the story. And the Daleks are a very popular thing. It was an animated thing written by James Goss. Nick Briggs did the voices. They had people from Big Finish do the soundscapes. And honestly, it's not free. It's been shockingly bad. Shockingly. So the first thing that I've noticed that is really, you can't not notice, is how cheap and shoddy the animation is. I'm going to show you some. I can't show you some clips because my first review of this I did. I had small clips here in the corner. I think with no sound on, I got copyright claims. So okay, I think you can show this. Let's find out. So. You can just help me zoom in. This is an orbital platform on the first episode, and you just see how, I don't know, cheap and plug and play. I mean, these characters didn't really move. Their feet slid across the floor because it would be far too expensive to animate them walking, right? So yeah, it's that kind of cheap, shoddy animation, but we do see it, a lot more. So the basic story is this: the Daleks decide they want to go to this planet which has this archive. The archive is protected by these people. Again, they make as many things they can without legs, so they don't have the embarrassment of this, So they do. So the first episode, the Daleks show up saying, "You will give us the archive," and then these people go, "No, we won't." So, and it highlights one of the many problems with it. Again, they're virtually only problems with this. The terrible casting. You have Nick Briggs does the Daleks. Good casting there. He knows what he's doing with the Daleks. Even though this doesn't really come together because I don't think it's mixed together properly. But then you have Aisha Atunin, who I think's been in Casualty. She was in some Bernie Summerfield box sets. Completely miscast. She's got a very essentially it looks to me like they said, oh look, she's a black woman and we're so diverse at the BBC, we're so wonderful, we have to hire a black woman because everybody loves black women, yay! Honestly, that you're making this a big deal, which I think you are. I think this is part of your decision-making process. I think means you're a racist. I do. She's just horribly miscast in this role. She has no gravitas, and she has a very naturalistic, I would say, housing estate delivery. Doesn't really work through an ethereal robot that's guarding an archive of all knowledge, right? So basically, you'll give it, no, you won't know it. So then they open a portal to another dimension, and there's a very cheap-looking plug-and-play glowy cloud effect thing that then comes out and starts chasing the Daleks. Okay, so that's it. So then you have the Daleks being chased away by the big green cloud, and it gets to Skaro, and it wipes out all the Daleks. Boom, like that. So again, these are the Daleks. These are the Daleks that fought the Time Lords in the Time War. In the space of 10 minutes, completely devalued as a threat, right? Completely. I don't understand what they're thinking. They never. And here's the thing: they never explain what the green cloud is or how it's able to do it. But then, boom, wipes out the Daleks, no problem. So then there's one Dalek ship left with the Dalek Emperor, who does look like a gold roll-on deodorant, and the Dalek strategist, who is in an old casing for some reason that they never explain. That I think the tension between there was some kind of tension between the Emperor Dalek and the Dalek strategist. That sounded like quite an interesting story. No, you're not going to hear it here. Forget that. So they go to a secret archive of Daleks one day. On Spyrodon they had a secret army of Daleks. I think they got them squirreled away a lot. They went to one place to get the Daleks, and the Daleks came online. And then there was a robot looking after them, horribly designed. I should have got a picture of that. You won't believe how badly and cheaply it's designed. Played by this reality star's brother, I think. I mean, that's how Z-list this is. They figured he was a big star. Joe Sugg, no idea who he is. No idea. Equally miscast. Just horribly miscast. I don't know what they're thinking. The Daleks come out and they've been reprogrammed and they attack the rest of the Daleks. We have a bit of a Dalek war. Don't think it's exciting. It's not, because the animation is so cheap and so shoddy. I'm going to show you some more pictures of it in a minute when we get to the final part of this art of dross, right? This art of dross. So so then they run to the mechanoids, right? Afterwards, and they're still being chased by the big green cloud thing. And there's only a few of them. There's one ship of Daleks left now. There's about 20 of them left on the ship. Of all the Daleks in the again. The race that credibly took on the Time Lords in the Time War fight. So they went to the mechanoids, and the mechanoids are played by Aisha Atunin, horribly miscast once again. She wasn't any good at this ethereal robot voice. She wasn't any better as the mechanoid queen. But oh no, let's make the mechanoids all female because we're so diverse. We're the BBC. We're so diverse. Oh, shut up. And then, if you do point out their idiocy of making this stuff so important, which they clearly do, they go, what's wrong? I don't like women. What's wrong with you, misogynist, racist? I'm like, no, I just don't like utter crap. People being miscast because they happen to pee sitting down, right? And they pee sitting down, and they happen to notice their skin color isn't white. I mean, honestly, that's what's going on. So she's joined by Anjali Mohindra, who has some more experience doing audio work. It's still not incredibly well cast. She plays a mechanoid scientist. Less grating than the mechanoid queen. And the mechanoid scientists, the first thing the mechanoids are able to take on the Daleks, somehow they're as powerful as the Daleks. Again, they're just completely depowering this villain. And the mechanoid science works out how to beam the green cloud back to its own dimension again. And then the mechanoids, there's two Daleks left. You have the strategist and the roll-on deodorant emperor as the two survivors. They run and they go, now we're going to destroy you, run away. Why don't they just destroy them then? But they run back to Skaro, and we're finally in the final episode. This episode, the final episode, is the least awful of them all. It's still absolutely awful. Still breathtakingly awful. They get back to Skaro. They're the only two there. It's like coming home from vacation. You turn the heat on, turn the air conditioning on. You get the feeling. They're the only two people there. Mechanoids turn up and said, remember last week when we said we're going to destroy you, but let me run away? Well, now we're here. We're going to destroy you. And so all the mechanoids turn up. You have I'll show you. They have a force of... I think I counted, right? It was like 111 show up, right? And somehow, again, they're a match for the Daleks. And the Daleks said, no explanation how this happens. And, how we are all destroyed. We're really not. And Daleks show up from somewhere. They've been around. The Dalek ships start arriving. And we get a Dalek mechanoid war. All of which sounds good on paper until you actually see it. And you go, oh. Really not so much. Like, here, I want to zoom in on something here, which I think just shows up how unbelievably bad this is. By the way, the at least the design of the architecture of Skaro is good. That works. Again, I'm sure there must be some like plug and play Blender models. But look at this. Okay, zoom in here. Let me just this is supposed to be fire coming out of the mechanoid's gun, and they kind of think that these weird, octagons, the section of octagons make it look like fire. No, it doesn't. I mean, it is. This would have been. Oh God, look at this. Look at this. And here, look, they're blowing up a Dalek. You can see because, look at that. I mean, really. I mean, you could have had the dome blow up a bit, but no, because it's just. It's not that it's amateurish. It's just. I mean, it is. It's cheap, shoddy garbage, but it's just nobody cares. Clearly, nobody in this production cares whatsoever about anything. It's just utter garbage. Again, I see more of their terrifying octagons of doom. Look at that. You got you have a mechanoid being blown up, and as things often are when they blow up, their little top flies off perfectly. Oh God, I hate this so much. I just hate how shoddy it is. It's how unnecessarily shoddy it is. They're going to take out a Dalek, with the octagons of doom. So eventually, the mechanoid scientist tries to make a deal with the Dalek strategist and says, "Well, what do you want?" I know, what is it you want? Because all the mechanoids are women, of course. What? And they try to bribe him. They said, well, maybe there's one thing, right? I can want. And so they go to this Dalek beam building, and they use the mechanoid science they use to they found the mechanoid science, get rid of the green cloud. They get rid of that green cloud thing. They open up the portal to the green cloud again, and she said, now I'm gonna the says I'm gonna beam the Dalek Emperor into the green cloud, but really he sends all the mechanoids in there and destroys the mechanoids, and the Daleks are home and everything's wonderful again. And this is supposed to go into the Titan Comics book series, which was awful. When they kidnapped David Tennant, they spent like half an issue trying to kidnap him to get to something, to get to this repository of weapons so they can fight this other evil from the dawn of time, which is a big clay sludge monster thing. Just crap. Everything about this is utter garbage, and that's why it's not selling. That's why it's not selling. I'm going to paraphrase a story told by J. Michael Straczynski, to him by Harlan Ellison. So I think these are really good genre writers that maybe you want to take account of. So J. Michael Straczynski was starting out in his career, and he wasn't able to like sell anything, and so he saw Harlan Ellison. I went to Harlan Ellison for some advice. And he says, well, okay, so here's the problem. What's going on there. This is why you're having trouble. You're writing crap. If you don't write crap, you'll be able to sell it, right? And he goes, oh, okay, so I shouldn't write crap. And that kind of set his career on the right direction. Sadly, however, not being able to sell your crap isn't an impediment to me it being produced anymore, because it's just utter crap. This thing is utter garbage. The sound design horrible, the sound mixing horrible, the music's horrible, the soundscape horrible, the animation is horrible, the script is weak. Even Nicholas Briggs' performance is mixed in badly. The casting is horrible. Everything about this is nothing but an utter embarrassment for the BBC or whoever made this. If they had any shame or care about what they did whatsoever, which clearly they don't. On the strength of this, they clearly do not. So there you go. Daleks! Exclamation point. A boring title to a boring substandard story. Just utter garbage. I still can't believe it got made. My name is Neil Beck, and the Rabbi from Another Planet. Please like, share, subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.